Hello, and welcome to It's Giving Thought Leader. Today, we're talking with Adam Landis, a nice, loud voice in the industry around advertising and technology, founder of AdLibertas, acquired by Branch, and former UC Davis Aggie. You've likely seen him featured on Business of Apps, Forbes, MarketWatch, VentureBeat, and even as my co host on How I Grew This. We've got some stuff to talk about for sure. Adam, glad to have you as our thought leader today.
Glad to be here.
Amazing. Well, I want to get people acquainted with you. At what point did you get passionate about advertising and why do you think it was?
That's actually a good story that I tell often, as often as people will listen, which is less often, I think, than
While
I
I'm
probably
listening.
would like. Um, I was a hotshot at Oracle. I would just been promoted. I was looking around for a kind of a next opportunity, kind of shopping that promotion, and I had a college buddy who sat me down in Palo Alto on University Avenue in this.
Good place for it. Makes sense.
Yes. So he sat me down in this IKEA couch in this back room surrounded by snacks, real dumpy compared. I'm in my suit from Oracle and walking around with swagger. And he says, "Okay, do you know how the iPhone has apps?" Like this was that long ago. And I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." And he's like, "Well, we think it's going to change the world." I'm like, "Well, yes, obviously. I think everyone thinks that." And he goes, "Well, so what we do is we sit between Google and Apple." And I was like, "I'm in. I don't care. Rip up this offer. Like I'm in. Tell me where to sign." So I got really excited about the growth and the market, and it hasn't faded since.
Wow. All right. So Apple, Google, we got the giants. We got the guy with self-proclaimed swagger. I love it. And you're still in the biz, right? So, you're spending a lot of your time now talking and thinking and writing and speaking about AI. So, what is the thing about AI today most people are missing, do you think?
I think that most people understand that AI is changing the world. I mean, my 78-year-old dad is telling me how great AI is, and that's bonkers to me because he just learned how to text like last year. So I think most people are adopting AI really fast. But the thing that I think that most people are missing today is how broken the measurement of AI is, and how today we're literally asking AI how we rank against our competitors. We're asking AI what we can do to rank better. We have absolutely no idea. This is like the internet before SEO. This is the internet before analytics. It's very, very early. And people that understand how to measure the outcome are going to become the masters of AI for tomorrow.
Well, that's why I'm really excited that Branch is working on AIO measurement for apps specifically. Well, if you want to keep on this thread around measurement, I have a big question for you. You've written a lot about scan over the last couple of years. Thinking about the environment now, is it still relevant? What's your take?
Unpopular opinion, no, it's not relevant. I think the people that could tell you kind of what the thresholds are that would Apple allow us to filter through to give you indicators on conversion values, which is, super esoteric thing about scan, the latest scan version. Those folks have learned it, and most everyone else has just kind of ignored it until the MMPs have allowed them to get signal. The biggest outcome of scan is the industry has learned to adopt that probabilistic measurement is here to stay, and you can now no longer rely on deterministic measurement. This, I think, will serve well as we move into an era of AI because AI is going to introduce more uncertainty. It's going to not allow deterministic measurement. It's going to increase the amount of channels that people use to get information. And the marketer needs to understand how probabilistic measurement works across AI, across mobile, across web, across online, offline. It's going to be a completely different way of measuring outcomes of marketing efforts. And so it's served us well, but it's not really relevant because most people don't even understand how it works.
So, should it be turned on?
I think that there's no reason not to turn it on unless you can markedly measure a decrease of overall effectiveness with your app to say when it says, allow to track. It's another source of measurement, but it's not the only source. And for most, it's not the most important source. It's just another measurement. The takeaway is get as many areas of measurement as you can and understand how they work together to get the best handle you can on non-deterministic measurement.
As best of big picture as you can. Thinking of big pictures, I want to ask you if we were to think about the changes related to AI and measurement and everything in 2026 that's upon us, what movie would best represent that?
Well, I'm a huge sci-fi guy, so
Me too.
I'd love to jump into, AI.
Robots are upon us.
Yes, coming towards us. But honestly, I think the movie that I would say is one I haven't even seen, which is The Social Network. I've still not seen it.
Haven't seen The Social Network.
I haven't, but I know enough of the story. And the reason I choose The Social Network is because I don't think many people realize that how early in the whole AI journey we are. And today, the back office conversations that made up The Social Network, where they're shooting Wild Wild West, pushing each other, and then they make a giant like Facebook out of it. That's happening today for companies that are going to be the future juggernauts of AI, and it's being built. So the foundations of the future companies are being built. And right now, it's probably absolute chaos. We've seen what happened with OpenAI last year at this time, with the board almost firing Sam Altman. This stuff is happening all the time with the giants of tomorrow.
Okay, so I want to dig into that a little more. I know you haven't seen the movie, which maybe we should correct sometime soon. But when we think about The Social Network and that beginning phase, I go to, him sitting there, little young college Mark, thinking about the college network and just like poking friends and like really very, very early basic things that like our minds probably couldn't even fathom where Meta would eventually go. So, is that a parallel?
Absolutely. Yeah. There's a great framework that talks about how AI is being utilized. I think this is the Luma partners. They produce this quarterly update on kind of the market. They have the Maslow's hierarchy of a pyramid, and it talks about how AI is used. And the bottom is like automation of workflow. We all do that today, help with workflow. Then it's content creation, which is something that we use. We can content, create images, create text, create copy. And then there's generative production of information, which is kind of the LLM search. It's kind of changing the way search works. And then on top of that's a question mark. I'm like, we don't know the application of AI because it's all brand new. I think that Mark Zuckerberg and kind of hearing about that and studying about how he found the social network and how he founded Meta was less about, you know, capturing unlikely lightning in a bottle. It was being in the right place at the right time and iterating in the right way. And a lot of the AI companies that will succeed are the ones that are going to capture some product that fits the market and fits the need and is able to accelerate and innovate and stay ahead of the curve and become the giant of tomorrow. So it's less about luck, not able to be there, but more about being able to experiment quickly and iterate. And that's what Meta does best. The thing that I think that most people don't realize is there's an incredible opportunity for every single person in the investment world too. So I have family that invested early in Apple, like in the early 2000s. Those companies are being built today. And if you invest in the right companies, you're going to see massive amounts of return as those markets grow. Now, that is not investment advice, but it's also a point. It's like there's going to be massive amounts of growth. And one of the best returns I ever had was Amazon when I said, oh my God, Amazon's so convenient. Everyone's going to do this. And so I bought Amazon. It's returned itself, 1,000 times.
So, a lot of unknown, as we talked about. What's something that people wouldn't know about you? That's a little bit interesting.
Well, I think most people in the industry know me for kind of being the ad guy that wears a collared shirt in public, but when I'm not behind a camera or on a conference floor, I'm wearing usual work clothes these days and,
Like
doing
work, like like
physical
working.
work clothes, yeah, in the dirt. So it probably wouldn't recognize me with a cowboy hat on the tractor, but there is that side of my life.
That's how you keep your anonymity with all of your fans.
Yeah. All the fans.
Okay, amazing. I know you do travel to speak on panels a lot. What are some of your business travel hacks besides looking incognito, perhaps in your worker wear?
Never check luggage. I've been burned. I've been burned checking luggage. So I in my prime, I could do a 2.5 week trip from 10-degree Fahrenheit, so well below freezing, all the way up to 80-degree Miami springtime with one roller bag. So checking the roller bag. So being able to squeeze it all in one bag is a trick, and doing your own laundry on the road helps a lot with that. And I'm not talking doing the laundromat. I'm saying do it in the sink in the actual hotel. That's the trick.
Yeah. Although I will say it is kind of fun when you're in Europe or somewhere to just spend a day going to a laundromat. Did it once where I took a carry-on for a 3-week Europe trip. So I took a page out of your playbook for sure.
I've done that too. It's not a great day to spend in
No,
sitting
we
in a
couldn't make
laundromat.
it. Bring the positive vibes. Okay, so what are some of your favorite resources or influencers or, newsletters to stay on top of for advertising, mobile, AI trends, the works?
The two I'd recommend following is Ben Thompson's Stratechery. So if you want just the high level, his yellow newsletter, the one that says Stratechery. If you want to get a more personal vibe, then it's his sub podcast that he does with his friends and coworkers. Those are a great way to stay on top of the tech industry and kind of technology at large. Often just by listening to that, you can be an expert in the industry. The other must have if you're in mobile is Eric Seufert, who does everything advertising. And if you can stay on top of his monumental amount of content and read 90% of it and understand 60% of it, you're going to be in the top 1% of the industry. So those are the two: Eric Seufert, Mobile Dev Memo, and Stratechery with Ben Thompson.
Great, Rex. Love it. We're going to close this out with a little rapid fire round. So let's start. Cybertrucks, cool or nonsense?
Cool. I mean, the great engines, I think they're very innovative. I like innovative. Their resale value is getting destroyed right now. You can get into one for like 40K and they were 80K a year ago. So I'd say you're going to see a lot more of them. They're a lot of truck for the money these days, especially when a new pickup truck is 90 grand on its own. So I think cool, even though they do say a lot about the person driving it.
Yeah, totally. Best suit brand.
Whew. I'd say one that was made for you. So one that's bespoke and made for you is going to be the best. But honestly, one that you love is probably the next best.
It makes you feel good. Build a home or buy a home?
100% buy a home. Buy. Never build a home. I'm doing it right now. It is expensive. It's time consuming. It's a miserable waste of your resources to figure out kind of like how high you want the electrical outlets in the house. That's a question that I,
Yeah.
given the chance, will spend all day on when it doesn't need to be an all day decision. But if I'm going to make it, I'm going to make it perfect. I'm going to make it right. But if I'm going to buy it, I never would have thought about it. So buy, get more for your money.
Just by talking to you every week, I knew that was coming and will never build a home. Favorite mode of transportation?
Ooh, these days, dirt bikes. They are the most amazing
Ooh.
motors I have ever experienced. They just have torque and horsepower for days, and they're just really, really impressive machines.
I didn't expect that. I expected your classic motorcycle, so I learned something new today. And favorite brand for linking and attribution?
Branch.
Of course. You've completed our gauntlet. Thank you, Adam.
My
That's all
pleasure.
we have time for today. Want to thank you for joining us, for all the shenanigans, for all the tips. And any last words for your fans?
Go branch.
Go Branch. We'll see you next time on It's Giving Thought Leader. Thank you.